what I see a lot is that they have tried to come up with suggestions often, but they were not listened to. And there are several reasons why it didn't work out, because sometimes, especially when you look at a turnaround, there are like 15 or 16 processes going on simultaneously. So the only way to really make impactful change is if you look at it from the entire context and not from one process or one perspective. So this was also the reason why we could take off 15 minutes, is because the cleaner said to the guy who was doing the catering, hey, if you change your order a little bit, I can do this, and we save 2 minutes. And they never talked about it like that before. And this is what we really helped people to have these kind of discussions. I change my work, you can change your work, and the company benefits.
Yeah. I think that what reminds me of, like, in the past, I talked to people and I asked them, what is important for a leader? And in many cases, they said curiosity, which is one thing, open-mindedness. Yeah. And second, what that many people said is being humble. And I think that what we just talked about is like these big, important managers coming, and they need to be humble just to listen to the other people who are not considered as important in the company.
Yeah,
and then they could do much more, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. But this is why I founded in the end my company reBella, because for me, those are the rebels in your organization, right? The rebels are also courageous enough to speak out, to voice out what's really going on in the organization. So that they can be really valuable, but most of the time they are seen as troublemakers. But actually they give signals of things that are not working well, or frictions, or so you can, they are very valuable for if you know how to treat them well.
Yeah, but I think that the word rebel has like two sides, as you said. One is like, they're in the sphere of what's going on, and they want to aspire to be better and to make things better. On the other side, as you said, it's like troublemakers. We don't know how to handle them. We're doing things this way, and now they're saying, let's do it differently. And it's like, what you're doing this mess for? We're doing it just right? So just to make them work.
Yeah, but my mission is to show. So I recently posted something on LinkedIn, a quote, which said, "It's not rebels that make trouble, but it's trouble that makes rebels."
Yeah, I saw that with the giraffes. I love the giraffes. I love it. Yeah.
But I think this is what it's all about. And the reason why people see them as troublemakers is because companies are organized around, okay, let's keep the things as they are. That's the exploit side of the explore and exploit what you need to have. And then someone who says, hey, something is not working right, or we can do it differently, they're bringing trouble, but actually they are the ones who give signals where you could improve and where you have to improve.
Yeah. So I'll ask you, what do you think that leaders need in order to be successful, from what you learned from over the years?
Yeah, so we already touched upon some things. It's for me coming back to can you feel comfortable with being uncomfortable? And the reason why I find it such a strong thing is that I do a lot of research on how we humans work. So we are wired to want to belong to a group. But what you need is to get further is that you have people who stand up and who stand out to say, hey, things are not working out or something is going on. So they have to overcome this discomfort of, well, not belonging to a tribe, but saying things. So for me, this is a part of, well, can you start to feel comfortable with being uncomfortable? Even your psychological, or like physiological things in your body that happen, can you fight against that? It's also about, we talk a lot in this world about diversity and inclusivity and that kind of stuff. It's not easy. I've built very diverse teams, and what that means is that you have a lot of discussions, right? Because you have people with a lot of different perspectives.
Right.
So, but this, and it makes you uncomfortable because you say, okay, we need to have, all have to be on the same page. No, we don't. But it makes you uncomfortable. But this is what I think that leaders need to start to understand.
Yeah.
Comfort is not the place to be.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And the last time that we talked is like many of these leaders are men and you're not. And many of them are very like, you know, they have these suits and they're very like sure of what they're doing. And now you're coming, as you said to this CEO, I asked you to take into consideration, you asked him to react in a certain way or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like putting them in a different position than like we're calling the shots, and now we need to see things maybe even like evenly as others.
Yeah. No, and I experience, of course, a lot. So when it comes to diversity, I try to stay away a little bit from the gender discussion about that, because for me, I think there are many men that I know that are not like the typical alpha guys, and there are also a lot of women I know that are like the typical alpha style. For me, it's much more about, can you be open to different perspectives and trying to help others, to give different perspectives, and that it's okay. So I recently watched a talk of Daniel Dennett. He's a philosopher, and he said, the hardest lesson we have to learn that people who don't agree with you are not flaming idiots. And I really like that, because I also notice sometimes that someone brings an idea and it's the opposite of my idea, but it's a good idea too, right? So I think learn people to see that a different perspective is not a crazy thing, right? It can really help you to think better, to come to